Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Ruth Langsford, Colleen Nolan, Janet Street Porter and Linda Robson.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome, and welcome to you at home. Welcome to Tuesday's Loose Women Live. Now, coming up, a woman has divided opinion after saying she wants to phone in sick following a relationship breakup. Critics say it's unacceptable to leave colleagues to pick up the slack. But should people get paid leave after a relationship breakup? We're also talking UFOs today. Yeah, not the flying kind, not the carrying alien kinds, but unidentified objects lurking in your freezer. We're going to be looking at how... you've got them, haven't you? I can tell. They're all going, oh, yeah, we know those. Also, we're going to be looking at how long you should actually keep things in for the freezer, and it's not as long as we all think, actually, is it? Things have been in there for years.
Oh, a couple of years, don't
No. Then at 1 o'clock, TV presenter Sarah Payward will be joining us. She is talking about her breast cancer diagnosis, including how she feels lucky that doctors discovered it so early, as she urges women to go for their mammograms. As always, we love to know what you think about all the topics we're discussing. Details of how to get in touch on your screen there. We love to hear from you. OK, so another worrying day, worrying news about the state of the economy. And one of the things that some local councils are now looking at to save money is scaling back on or even cancelling their Christmas Towns lights display. But it's, yes, I know, we all went, oh, really? But I suppose, you know, they're looking to save money, they're looking to cut costs, aren't we all? Is this the way to do it? I mean, you love Christmas, I know.
I love Christmas. And also, with everything else going on, please don't take our Christmas away. You know, we've only just got it back, really, after COVID. So, for me, absolutely not. And it's all very well scaling money back for that, but the more this goes on, they're going to have to plough money into mental health, because I think people are really suffering now with everything that's going on, with depression and anxiety. And now you're saying Christmas is almost cancelled. You know, for kids don't care about the economy. They want to see a Christmas tree.
But then I suppose the councils will say, though, Janet, won't they? Well, they're between a rock and a hard place, because the rest of, you know, people will be scaling back, probably on lots of things, you know, and the future at the moment is looking quite bleak. So, you know, hurtling towards Christmas, people at home are going to say, should we really have the Christmas lights outside this year? Maybe fewer presents. So the councils, if they look to be splurging out on Christmas lights up and down the high street and a big Christmas tree, maybe the optic isn't good.
Yeah, I could see that. But if you take Oxford Street and the big streets in the centre of London, for example, they have sponsors and the shops get together to pay for the illuminations. And it's true that shopkeepers have had a really tough time in the last 2 years because of COVID, and they probably feel, well, this is something that we'd like to scale back on, but it's a great big tourist attraction, especially in the centre of London. And as a child, it was the most exciting night of the year to get on the bus and go up to Piccadilly Circus and then walk up Regent Street and see the lights. I think abroad, in Germany, they've already taken some quite drastic measures to save money on energy bills. Councils have turned off the hot water in public buildings. They've cooled down all the swimming pools, and they're turning
You'll love that freezing cold pool, you.
Yeah, well, it's good for you, by the way. You burn calories when you heat up afterwards, so cold water or cooler water swimming is pretty good. But I kind of agree with Colleen. I think councils are in a tough position because a few Christmas lights in your town, I mean, it makes it a happy place. It makes a place you feel better in.
And people are going to go and shop and have coffees and...
Yeah.
But if they turned around and said to you, right, Christmas tree in front of the town hall or Meals on Wheels, what would you say? Because that's the kind of decision
that's what I'm saying. Those are the decisions that they are faced with, because they haven't got any money and they've got to prioritise things. So if that was put in front of you, Linda, to say, well, it's great, of course we'd like everyone to have a Christmas tree in the high street, it looks wonderful, but it's that or supplying Meals on Wheels or mental
Obviously,
health care.
you've got to feed people before you have Christmas lights and that, but it will be a shame. But maybe they should just bring it down a little bit and not have so much as they normally do and that. But, I mean, as Janet said, the highlight of our Christmas as a child was getting in the car with our dad and driving up and down Oxford Street to see the lights and then down Regent Street. And then someone famous had come down there and turned on the lights, wouldn't they? So we would all go down to see this famous person, whoever it was at the time, turning on the lights.
Have you ever turned the lights on, by the way?
I have when I've done pantomime, yeah.
No one's ever asked me to
No,
turn it on. I wonder why.
No one's ever asked me.
Oh, right, two of us. No one's ever asked us. Well, we won't have that opportunity now if they're all being
I
cancelled.
could go as fairy godmother and you could go as the Grinch. It'd be brilliant. It'd be so funny.
No.
Although there's no lights now, so.
No, and also, you've got Christmas, then you've got New Year's Eve, haven't you? Then you go, oh, then is it going to be the fireworks cancelled? I mean, it's
I
a bit
don't mind
grim.
that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe a smaller tree and all of that.
Yeah, it's a bit grim.
A bit more tinsel
Let's
and
see
less
what
light.
happens.
No, I'm celebrating Christmas.
Now, there's a new reality show it's going on the screens tonight on Channel 4, and they are looking to find an alternative Prime Minister. Have a look at this.
These 12 ordinary Brits think they could be Prime Minister.
People who graduate at Eton should not be running the country.
Do you know what? I quite like being in the hot seat.
Judged by these political heavyweights, only one can succeed.
It's all a bit theory, isn't it?
No. This purple rosette, it's very UKIP, isn't it? Are we going for the missile?
Yes, we're going for the missile.
I think Darius thought it went quite well. It did not.
I think we've heard enough.
You are not ready to be a Prime Minister.
Oh, brutal. That's Make Me a Prime Minister starts tonight at 9:15 on Channel 4. And that got us thinking this morning, saying, actually, would that be quite a good way to choose a Prime Minister, Janet? You know, put them up there and give them tests. Say, come on then, show us policies.
Well, something's got to be better than the present system where we've ended up with a Prime Minister chosen by about 160,000 people who are members of the Conservative Party. And in the last election, when you look at the last general election, the way that votes were cast, there's not a huge amount of difference in the votes cast for the Labour Party versus the Tory Party. And the truth is now that there's a large part of Labour and a large part of the Tories that actually agree.
Kind of meeting in the middle.
There's a lot. If you went around the country and you said to people, what would you vote for? Actually, there's not a lot of difference. There's a lot of consensus. A lot of people agree about a kind of middle ground. So if that's the case, I can't see why we're choosing prime ministers, but with a minority of a minority, if you see what I mean. So we've ended up with Liz Truss, which I have no particular opinion about, although if she was a car, you'd be sending her back for an MOT or a... So you'd be asking, was there a factory defect? Or perhaps not.
But the thing is, it's because we don't maybe know much about Liz Truss. You were saying this morning, I didn't really know much about her.
I've never even heard of her until all of a sudden.
So then that brings me back to that. If there was this kind of reality star, would you like to know more about a person who's putting themselves forward to be the Prime Minister? Do you want to know more about them as a person, not just their politics and their policies?
When we first started talking about this morning, my instant reaction was, no, that's a joke. I mean, that's like a joke. And it'd be like finding you may as well put them on Love Island and find which one, you know what I mean? And I would be basing it on what they look like.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fit, I'll have him as Prime Minister. You know?
But mind you, when Rishi Sunak came out with the meal deals and 2 for 1, it was Dishy Rishi and all the headlines. He was the pin-up boy. There was all the photos of him in his hoodie and his, designer sweatshirts and all of that. And then suddenly the gloss seemed to go right off Rishi, didn't it? And
But what I was going to say was today I thought, no, that's a stupid idea. But actually, when you were talking about it then, I thought, I suppose it would be a good way of seeing they're given tasks, how you deal with it. And if they don't deal with it the way you want them to, you think, well, he'd be rubbish Prime Minister. Or
Yeah, some of the tasks they've given the people on that show is come up with a new education curriculum. Wow, that's a big brief, isn't it?
yeah, I could do that.
You could
She would be a brilliant Prime Minister.
Brilliant Prime Minister.
She's scary.
Only if everyone agreed with her.
Yeah.
Launch a healthy eating policy.
Yeah,
You can
no
do
problem
that.
doing that.
Make decisions in a Cobra meeting during a security crisis.
No.
Tough.
No
Tough. and defend your policies to a room of journalists. Imagine defending to Janet.
Well, having been a journalist and still being a journalist, I know all the tactics.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea because I often think that we end up with people in Parliament who've had, as someone said in that clip earlier, they come from a very narrow pool of talent, don't they? They've all been to the same universities, they've all been to the same kinds of schools, and they don't represent the cross-section that's Britain's today. And Britain's changed so radically. Even the years since Tony Blair got voted in 1997, we live in a multicultural society. People are more tolerant. They've got, you know, and we want to see that reflected in government. And I just feel sometimes I look at all these people, and there's a lot of people at the top of government today who were privately educated, studied law, went to Oxford or Cambridge or grammar school or a selective school, and I just would like to see a bigger mix at the top.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. So, as I said, Janet for Prime Minister. Yeah.
In your dreams, Ruth.
No, I know. After the break, with news that Prince Harry is set to tone down his tell-all book for fears it might look insensitive after the Queen's death, find out which of us is currently grappling with a similar dilemma over their own memoirs. And do you have any UFOs lurking in your kitchen? That is, unidentified freezer objects. One of us does. She's brought it in with her today, and we will be trying to guess what it is. She doesn't even quite know what it is herself. And also some big news about Colleen. Find out what after the break. It's a scoop. It's a scoop.
Are you pregnant?
Thank you. Nice to see you again. Welcome back. Now, still to come, should you get paid leave from work following a relationship breakup? You've got heartbreak. Do you think you should get paid time off? It's a good question, that one, isn't it? And then at 1 o'clock, former Top of the Pops presenter Sarah Kaywood will be joining us. She'll be talking about her recent diagnosis with stage 1 breast cancer. Now, it was found after her first routine mammogram, and she's now urging other women to please make sure they go for theirs. First, though, well, forget NASA trying to defend the planet against asteroids. Forget that. There's bigger news. A more momentous event happened just yesterday, didn't it, Janet?
Yes. I did the show yesterday, and I was in my dressing room getting ready to go home. Ruth had toddled off somewhere. Brenda had gone, and then I saw Colleen in the corridor, and I thought, oh, what are you doing, Col? She went, well, I've got to stay in the night in London. Not much. And you know what? Colleen and I have worked together for over 10 years, and I've never invited her around my house for a cup of tea.
She never
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So I went, do you fancy coming round to mine for a cup of tea later? She was on it like a shot.
Only because I was scared of saying no. She invites me round for a cup of tea, and I get there, I go, I'm outside, put the kettle on. She went, I've no milk. And then I went, what do you mean you've no milk? And she went, and I've no tea.
Correction. I had tea. I had designer tea.
Earl Grey. It's like
Earl Grey.
I had chamomile, Earl Grey, and rooibos.
Where was the builder's tea?
Yeah.
Of course, Linda turns up then. She has been gatecrasher. She has been to my house before because she came on Halloween night, stood outside and shouted, I know you're in there, through the letterbox. And I'd gone out because I knew she was going to do it.
She was in, she was making out she was there. I had a scream mask.
Do you know what? It was a really lovely afternoon after I dragged her to the corner shop for tea bags, biscuits and milk.
Yeah, I had biscuits. I just didn't have double chocolate.
Nothing to dunk them in.
OK, so I got her out a special teacup that I bought in France that was porcelain with saucer. And she went, what's that, a bucket?
I said, what am I having, a cup of soup? It's like that.
Did you have a snoop round?
I had a good snoop round, guys. It's good.
She said,
do you know what? It's immaculate. as I expected it to be. It's crazy, but in a brilliant way. Like the colour scheme, I'd be scared to do, but it really worked. And it's homely. It's got such a lovely atmosphere. It's really... I didn't expect it to be homely. I don't know what I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like a dungeon. But
you know what?
it was so homely.
What's really funny is because it was a spur-of-the-moment thing, inviting Colleen round. I didn't have time to tidy up, but it is tidy because I am a tidy person. So when Linda turns up, it's blowing a gale. I live on this square with big trees and the leaves are swirling around. Linda comes in and she goes, "Oh, leaves on the carpet."
So I picked them all up for her. I know.
It's a good afternoon.
I think this should become a regular thing that Janet should host loose women tea parties.
Yeah, that'd be
all come.
Yeah.
And audience.
And audience.
Oh, no.
It's big enough to have.
And crew.
Oh, no.
Everyone in the gallery.
Yeah.
Bring your own tea
Listen,
bags.
you're lucky she even said yes. She never goes anywhere and
I
does
never
anything.
go out. I can't be bothered.
She can't be bothered.
No.
So, you know, it's an
No.
honour she accepted your invitation.
It is big.
Yeah, I'll be putting up the blue plaque later. Colleen was
OK,
here.
so we have a competition for you now, not just any old competition. This is the biggest one of the year. Exactly, it's worth a woo. Josie Gibson is standing by with all the details. She is live in Surrey with us today. And you've got a former competition winner with you, Josie.
I have indeed, Ruth. Yeah, talking about throwing home parties. I am at Nicole's house, who is our ITV winner, and it has been a party all day in your kitchen, hasn't it, Nicole? Now, you won a huge amount of money as well as a car. What was it like to get that winning phone call?
Absolutely amazing. Best phone call you could ever have.
And Paula was with you at the time, weren't you, Paula? What was it like for you?
I think I was really emotionally excited as well because I was crying because I couldn't have wished for a better person to have won that amount of money in the car, so it's good.
Well, thank you. And imagine getting that winning phone call to tell you that you've won £500,000. That's right. We're giving away £500,000 as one of our biggest competitions of the year so far. And with all of our competitions, there is always a guaranteed winner, and that winner could be you. And not only are you in with a chance to win £500,000, you're also in with a chance to win our bonus prize draw. Here you go. Here's all the details you need to know to get your hands on £500,000 potentially. I was waiting for that. I was wondering when you were going to do that. Here's the details. By entering to win £500,000 this week, you'll also be entered into our bonus prize draw to win a brand new MG car worth over £32,000. For your chance to win, text CASH to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 782248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Car 39 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over and lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 4th of November. Make sure you enter before 4 p.m. on Friday the 30th of September for your chance to win the car. Good luck!
Thank you very much, Josie. Yes, good luck with that. Now, Prince Harry is reportedly making an 11th-hour attempt to tone down parts of his forthcoming autobiography. He's worried that some parts of the book might look insensitive following the Queen's death. Now, Linda is currently writing her memoirs, and you are actually, unlike Prince Harry, it seems, you're allowing your family to read parts of it as you go along and see what they make of it. So how is that?
I wish I hadn't let them read it.
Really?
Because there's 12 chapters and I think there's only one chapter left now. Yeah. Because I sent it to my two sisters and to my 3 kids and said, just like, write down any bits, because obviously I haven't set out to upset anybody. And I've been asked loads of times over the years, but I never thought I had much to talk about. But then when I look back, and I've been 54 years in showbiz, I was 10 when I started.
You've got a lot to talk about.
There is quite a lot. So there's lots of really, really funny stuff, and then there's a lot of stuff about the depression and my anxiety and my 2 years off where I was really, I had to be looked after all the time. So there's all of that in there. But, yeah, it's been interesting. It's been like a trip down memory lane, and the people that I'm writing with, Penguin Books, so Beth as the person that's been writing. So is it a biography or an autobiography?
It's an autobiography.
Yeah, it's my words, someone else's. I've also got to do the audio book, which I'm not looking forward to, because you sit in this little black hole for about 11 hours a day.
It's good. It's good.
Is it good? Yeah. But it has. It's been really, really interesting. There's lots of really funny stuff in there as well.
So did the family... Because obviously, you obviously didn't write anything with any intention of upsetting your family, but without giving anything away, obviously... have there been parts where they said, well, that's not my memory of that, or I don't like that, or that's upset me?
Yeah, there's been a few little bits and pieces, because I am very honest, and as I've said, it's my biography, so it's what I think, and that's what I've been writing. And obviously I haven't set out to upset anybody, but a few of the things that I said in there. So I was using second names of people. So Lauren just asked, could I take out the second names? I can use the first names, because otherwise everyone will know. But Colleen said also it goes to lots of lawyers and that before the book
you've
comes
three,
out.
apart from me, I mean, you've all done autobiographies, haven't you? And so, Janet, did you think about family? Were you totally honest? Did you think, I might just tone that bit down because it's not surprise.
Well, I waited till my mother had died. My mother and father had both died. And my sister cooperated with me and did a lot of the research. And her help was invaluable. But I ended my first memoir, Baggage, at the age of 18 when I leave home. And that resonated with a lot of women who felt they had, like me, difficult relationships with their mother, and there weren't too many books out there saying what it's really like for some people when you and your mum don't see eye to eye. And what I think about Prince Harry is writing this book now...
At this time,
At this time is a very dangerous project, because his granny's died... His grandfather's died in the last year. So his father has lost both parents in the last year, and his father has a new job, whether he's, the king or whatever. He's got a new job. His brother has also got a new job. Been promoted.
Yeah.
And with that comes an enormous amount of responsibility. And if you care anything for your siblings and your close family that are still alive, you have to consider the impact of what you're going to say. And I understand that Harry does feel hurt and might justifiably feel left out and sidelined and misunderstood, but is now really the time?
Well, the thing is, the publishers will want it to be quite revealing, won't they? That's what they want, the juicy gossip.
Oh, yes.
They want all that. So it's going to, whether he can do that deal with them. It's due, apparently it was due to be published this autumn. There's now a question mark over that, whether it's going to...
Good idea?
Well, we've run out of time, so you'll have to just go and buy mine and read it. No time to tell you all about it. Yeah, I upset everyone.
OK, we've got to take a break now. After that, 90s TV presenter Sarah Kaywood will be joining us to talk about her diagnosis with stage 1 breast cancer, which was picked up, and she had her very first mammogram. Talking to Sarah right after the break. See you then.
Tomorrow, we're joined by Jake Wood, the ex-Walford womaniser who went from the square to Strictly, revealing how he's looking to the future, focusing on health and happiness, and why a lifetime of bullying has inspired him to help others. Jake Wood, tomorrow on Loose Women.
Welcome back to Tuesday's Loose Women Live. And still to come today, would you judge a colleague for taking time off work after a breakup, because of heartbreak? Would you think that's a good idea? Also, how good is your freezer knowledge? We'll be revealing exactly how long you're meant to keep things in the freezer for. And one of us has brought in an unidentified object from hers, but she's not even sure what it is. We're going to have to try and guess. But now to our guests. Now, last week, TV presenter Sarah Kaywood revealed that she has been diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer after going for her first routine mammogram. She's here to tell us about receiving that news and why she actually feels lucky at how she's now struggling with menopause symptoms after that result, but lucky that they found it, Sarah. Welcome.
Really early, didn't they?
Yes. We're delighted to have you, but thank you for talking about it, because there's so many women who get very nervous about mammograms or don't really know what to expect and think, oh, I don't know. And you're now saying, please go.
Just go for it.
You wouldn't have known.
Yes, well, I didn't know. We were just discussing this before we came on air. I didn't know at what age we started to have them. And just before my 50th birthday, I just got the letter through saying it's time for your routine mammogram. And I was like, oh, OK. And I like to tick things off my to-do list, so I booked it straight away. thinking nothing of it. And then I got the letter back saying, we can't give you a result yet because of we need to do another screening. And I was like, probably just didn't do it right, NHS. And so I went back for that, and that's when I sort of smelt a bit of a rat, because they did another mammogram and then an ultrasound, spending loads of time in my armpit. I asked, could it be a cyst? And they went, no, it's too dense to be a cyst.
Oh, no.
A bit chin-strokey at this point. And then they biopsied. So I think that gave me a bit of a clue. But they were so thorough, and they weren't going to let me off the system until they had all the answers. And then they did me an MRI, and then I got my results, and she said it was a tiny pea-sized lump. I couldn't feel it, and it was stage 1. I mean, it was literally, I've described it online as the Carlsberg of breast cancers, because it's the very best result you can get if you're going to be...
But even so,
I mean, it's
not
still
the
a shock.
words you want to hear.
No, of course not.
But had you not have gone for that, or put it off even for another year, all of a sudden you could have been stage 2, stage 3.
Absolutely. So... And I was very lucky. Mine is an estrogen receptor positive cancer, which means it's hormone fed, which is less aggressive than other cancers can be. And I lost a friend last year to a very aggressive, she was 33, an aggressive breast cancer. So that was quite triggering, because I was really, really worried that it might be aggressive.
And you brought your husband with you, didn't you, for the results?
They didn't ask me to, actually, but I just thought, well, just in case. And we did get ushered into a room, and there were about 3 nurses, 2 consultants, and you're like, oh, expletives.
So do you have to have chemotherapy or radiotherapy?
Radiotherapy. So I had my lumpectomy last Wednesday, and I'm here 6 days later. That's how easy it is. It's one day. That's why nobody should be scared. Like, especially at my stage, it's really quite straightforward. I mean, it's not quite having a verruca removed, but it's not, it's one day. I was home by 3, just took the dressing off yesterday, 2 beautiful, neat scars. I had my lymph node removed for a biopsy as well, and then radiotherapy, and then tamoxifen, which means I had to come off the HRT.
Well, you mentioned your husband Andy, who I know because we worked at this morning, a lovely, lovely man. And you say that, he was with you, but then you have to tell the children, you decided that you would be very honest with them. Absolutely, because of what happened to Faye last year. She was a school mum friend, and so we were so worried that they would just be like, oh, well, that's it, mummy's a goner. And so we just explained to them that it could be any of these things, and what I said to them was, let's cross those bridges when we come to them. I think we all catastrophise too much about life, don't you? Like, why worry about something that actually hasn't happened yet?
Exactly.
Just try not to, and that's why at night, when you lie there getting anxiety, I just put headspace on, do the breathing, and just try and calm myself down, because there's no point.
Well, I know, I mean, your children are only 9 and 10, and your husband Andy, it's not just about you, is it? Because they live it with you. And your lovely husband Andy has sent a message for you.
Has he? No!
Hi, Sarah. I just wanted to send you a little message to say how very proud I am of you. I think firstly with the menopause madness, you tackled that head on and were very open about it, and hopefully through you doing that and through your podcast, you sort of helped other people with this cancer diagnosis. The same thing, really, just raising awareness and being so positive and strong. I love you very much. The kids love you very much. Keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, bless him. He hates being on camera as well. He's much happier behind it.
He's a very good producer, but
go handsome.
he is handsome.
I tell you what, it wasn't being that nice to me earlier when I was having a little paddy because I nearly missed... Well, there were no trains. I'm here literally with 10 minutes to spare, and he was like, stop being so negative.
You mentioned earlier that obviously you had to stop your HRT.
Yeah.
While going through the menopause and all of that as well. How did that affect you?
Well, I mean, the hot flushes. But actually, Cole, it's been almost a good thing because I do a podcast called Irregular Rhymes with Witches.
Yeah. Right.
And it's all menopause. And I do it with a really good friend of mine called Lou. And it's basically menopause, midlife, all of those things. It's funny, it's irreverent, it's relatable. But we were both on HRT. And I was really worried. I was like, there are women out there that can't take HRT. And we're both going, oh, HRT's brilliant. Solves every problem you've got with the menopause. And then kind of, by the gods, I've had to come off it. So hopefully now my story will help those women that can't take it. But it has been mainly the hot flushes. It was the mood swings, and then I got the CBD oil involved, and they've calmed down. But I'm a bit woo. I love to meditate. I do an early morning walk. I do a bit of cold shower.
And did you do that anyway, or was that something since
I've started doing that before. Like, I'd say the last 2 years I've been trying to... Isn't it ironic? We all try and get healthy in our 50s.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, my 30s, I'm surprised I'm still here. I mean, did we ever sleep in the 90s? Did we? So, yes, I've been trying to do that. But it's been the hot flushes.
Yeah, horrible.
It's when if I eat hot food or have a cup of tea. Is that what triggers it for a lot of women? Because I haven't really asked.
I don't find
wine,
there's any trigger.
wine for me.
Yes, and being hungover.
But mine just come out of nowhere.
Yeah, and they can't quickly.
Just standing there and go, is anyone hot? And everyone no.
And it's like I said on the podcast, it's like your blood, suddenly someone turns the thermostat up on your blood and it warms up.
Feels like you're boiling, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
Like
it's
a
not
kettle
sweaty.
boiling.
It's like just heat. Yeah, it's
yeah.
bizarre. And Andy will turn to me in bed to give me a cuddle and go, whoa, no. Or just like warm his hands on me instead.
Listen, you know, your podcast, I know, will help so many women because you talk very openly about the menopause, as we do on here. We have our own menopause manifesto and we discuss it openly, which, you know, just a few years ago would never have happened on television. And the same today, you know, discussing going for your mammogram, finding something which, you know, some people are nervous to go because they go, but they might find something, and you go, but that's why you need to go. So going forward now, you're feeling positive and it's all good.
I feel so lucky, Ruth. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I can't cry into my gin, can I, when I'm stage 1 and there are people out there that may be stage 3, stage 4, or they've been terminally diagnosed. That would be really unfair of me. And I just want people to get checked and, you know, face whatever's coming down the track head on and be there to help them. And Lou and I, at the moment, ahead of season 4 of the podcast, we're basically trying to do a little bit of Sarah's journey through breast cancer. So we've got the first little sub-episode, and we're recording another one on Thursday, and I'll carry on going so that people know what to expect and that it's not scary.
And it does. It always helps. And we always say on the show, if it helps one person, if one person today says, actually, I'm going to book that mammogram, I'm going. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank
and
you,
stay well.
It's really nice to see you all.
And make sure, give my love to Andy, won't you?
I certainly will.
Andy. Hello, Andy. Thank you for the message. Also, if you've been affected by anything that Sarah has been discussing with us, please head to our website. The details on your screen now, and you can find all the details of where you can find support. We've got to take a break now, but still to come. Would you call in sick to work after a relationship breakup? And should everyone be entitled to paid leave for heartbreak? Also, we're talking about UFOs, unidentified freezer objects, as we reveal the contents of our own freezers. Whose freezer is this? That's very tidy. Find out after the break. Loose Women, and we are talking unidentified freezer objects later and revealing exactly how long you should leave different food items lurking in there. A lot of things lurk, don't they?
Oh, they
Something
do.
lurked in Janet and she's brought it in with her. We actually don't know what it is. OK, so we're looking at that later. But first, competition time now. £500,000. Yes. And it could be yours. It's very exciting. Let's go back to Josie, live for us in Surrey today. Hi, Josie.
Hi, Ruth. Yes, I'm round Nicole's house. We're having a house party. She's still celebrating her win, and we are giving away one of the biggest competitions of the year so far. £500,000 could be yours. Yes. Remember, with all of our competitions, there's always a guaranteed winner. So somebody out there has to win the lot. £500,000. Now, Nicole, what did you win?
I won £100,000 and a new car.
Oh, lovely. You enjoying spending your win?
Absolutely.
And this is your friend. You were with Nicole when you won. What would you do with £500,000?
It's so life-changing. I think there were too many things I'd want to do. Move house, buy a brand new car, just enjoy a nice holiday.
It could bring you so much freedom. What would you do with £500,000?
Take all my friends on a fantastic holiday.
Right, we're friends now, all right?
We are.
We're friends now. OK, but what would you do with £500,000? Just imagine all the freedom that could bring to your life. And not only are you in with a chance to win £500,000, you're also in with a chance to win our bonus prize draw. Here's all the details you need to know. Friends forever.
By entering to win £500,000 this week, you'll also be entered into our bonus prize draw to win a brand new MG car worth over £32,000. For your chance to win, text cash to 82248. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 782248. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to Car 39 PO Box 7558 Derby DE10NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over and lines close at 4 p.m. on Friday the 4th of November. Make sure you enter before 4 p.m. on Friday the 30th of September for your chance to win the car. Good luck!
£500,000 is a life-changing amount of money. You could really pursue your dreams with this sort of money. The freedom that could be yours is just endless.
Josie, do you know the first thing I would do if I won that money? Buy you all an umbrella.
I was thinking, I wonder if they know it's raining, and then I'm stood there like that.
We do. Do you know the funny thing about television is it never looks as bad, does it? We all know this on the screen. I know it's raining. They're telling me in my ear, they're all standing in the rain. It doesn't look that bad, but thank you all. Thank you, ladies, for all standing in the rain. Bless them. Thanks, Josie. Now, a heartbroken woman has sparked a debate after asking if it's acceptable to take time off work to deal with a relationship breakup, which has happened to her, OK? So she says she's heartbroken, she's distraught, she didn't feel she could go into work. So some of the people she asked said it would be a good idea. Others said it was unacceptable because she'd be leaving her colleagues to pick up the slack. So, Colleen, which side of the fence do you fall on this one? Do you think it's OK? Would you have had sympathy for her? Or would you say, come on, put yourself together, get back to work?
No, I would definitely have sympathy for her. And certainly the first couple of days or whatever, I'd be like, absolutely, take your time, you know, especially if it was that day. And this particular woman had found out about an affair and she had kids and she was just heartbroken. And the funny thing is, if somebody phoned up and said, listen, I've just fallen and broken my ankle, I can't come into work, you go, well, that's absolutely fine, take as much time. But then when it's a mental health problem or a broken heart, it's like, come on, pull yourself together and get back to work. Well, I wouldn't want someone in my office who's there completely heartbroken and not concentrating on anything they're doing. No. Do I think they should take months off and get paid? No, absolutely not. But I think we should be aware of somebody's heartbreak and emotions and mental well-being.
Yeah. I'd be funnily. Yeah.
I agree. You know what, Ruth? That was really hard to get that applause. I thought, guys...
Well, I don't agree. I don't agree.
That's because you haven't got a heart.
Got a beating heart. I had you around for a cup of tea last night.
After 10 years.
No, I mean, speaking as a boss, I would let people in my office bring their children, small babies in. If they had childcare issues, that was never an issue. If people rang up and there was a death, a serious illness in the family, or a close colleague, absolutely take the day off. That's compassionate leave. If you've been dumped by a bloke, I'm sorry, love, come on in. We can help. It's better to not sit at home in isolation, not get upset and broken-hearted at home. Come into the office because a problem shared is a problem diminished.
That's only if you've got understanding.
We've
done it. We do it all the time.
We've done it many a times.
We'll all be crying.
Many times we've been dumped over the years.
Yes, exactly. Colleen, we're always comforting Colleen for being dumped.
But I think once you've had day one at home... All right!
OK, there's so many things to talk about today. We never have enough time. So I've said we're going to talk about UFOs.
They love playing that music, I know.
I'll give them their moment, Sam. Yeah, go on then. There you go. Ooh. But we're not talking about those kind of UFOs. Thank you. This time, it's UFOs, unidentified freezer objects. You know the ones you're all laughing, going, oh, yeah, we've got those. You know those mystery things, like you're doing something in the freezer, you think, what is that? What was that? Something in your freezer lurking in the depths. So the team said to us, have a look in your freezer. I mean, obviously mine's perfect, nothing wrong. But Janet found, well, she hasn't shown us this.
We don't know what this is.
We actually don't know what this is.
She don't know what this is.
No.
Are we going to need a tetanus after this?
Move the mug, Cole, so we can see. There you go.
I'll move the mug.
Yeah.
Okay. Move out the way, Janet.
There it is.
What is it? Looks like beetroot.
Is it fruit? Oh, it is beetroot, isn't it?
Is it beetroot?
Yeah, so...
It stinks.
It doesn't...
It's got blue bits on it.
That's the plastic bag.
No, inside.
Is it beetroot?
All right, let's get it out. All right. First of all, if it is beetroot, what was going through my mind when I froze it?
Bits on it. Oh, they're freezy bits.
They're freezer damage.
Onion?
It's a beetroot.
It's a beetroot. Why would you freeze a beetroot?
I can't answer that question well, yesterday I was asked to photograph stuff from my freezer. Can we show the photo where I found a loaf of bread that I photographed, that I labelled bread, but what's next to it? It's a mystery piece of fish.
So, not wrapped up, just shoved in? Just shoved in?
It's in a plastic bag, but I mean, I can't tell what fish it is.
Can't you smell it and see what it is?
No, it's
Do
frozen.
you know, I was looking up, because, you know, people put things in the freezer and you think, that's fine, I've got that, it's there for years. But actually, it's actually quite short, the amount of time.
I don't live anything other than 3 months.
Don't you? Well, you're probably right. Because I was just saying, Janet, bread, up to 3 months.
Oh.
Soup, stews and casseroles, 2 to 3 months. Milk, only up to 1 month. Uncooked mince. I've got so much mince. You know, when you overbuy, you go, shove that in the freezer, I'll make a spag bowl. That's only there for 3 to 4 months, apparently. Have you found anything lurking, Linda?
Now and again, I get ice cubes and they have peas in the middle of them.
I just ate the Christmas... Linda, I just ate the Christmas ham last weekend.
Oh, did you?
Is that Linda's? It's just ice cream,
That's
Linda.
fine. Now, that's because my kids were vegan, Louis and Bobby, so I've still kept a load of vegan stuff in the freezer, hoping that one day they will come home. But they left probably about a year ago, so probably all that's got to be thrown away.
So where's this one we were teasing before the break?
This is the one...
Be...
So this is lollies and ice cream.
One?
Oh, that's
mine.
yours.
That's yours. That's quite tidy, Cole.
That is
Thank
tidy.
you. Why
But
is everyone always shocked?
Where's all the homemade food in that fridge? It's all ready-made stuff.
Well, because we make fresh every day.
That's
all frozen fruit and stuff.
It is tidy,
Looks
but
quite healthy.
you haven't quite topped mine because mine's all labelled with my label printer.
But you need to get out more and...
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no, I can't...
Why do you have to label every chips? You just pull them out and go,
I can't answer that because you have to go now.
You don't have to cook anything.
Yeah, that's it for today. Tomorrow, EastEnders stars. You saw Jake Wood will be here. Have a great afternoon. Thank you, audience. You're fabulous.